Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome once again Esoteric Cloud Surfer here on my YouTube channel, ready to start, as well a travel on Esoteric Cloud, but today this is a surprise for y'all. Welcome to my podcast, and it's not just mine, it's also Mystaria podcast. So shout out to you watching right now, shout out to Mystaria, she's present with us.
Thank you. Hi.
And I want to welcome everybody and every spirit to our podcast, to the first episode of our podcast, Spirit to All. So, thank you very much for being here. I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions, a whole bunch of individuality, creativity, and responsibility. Remember to check my links in the description down below. Check Mysterious links in the description down below as well. You can find pretty much every content that we put out in those links in the description down below. And before we start, let me explain you briefly what uh, what content our podcast will envelop. So, Spirit to All, as the name suggests, it's a spiritual or more spiritual podcast, all right, where me and Mystaria we will speak about things that we experience internally, externally, that we see others experience, and we will give a spiritual attribute, we'll give our reasons and meanings, and also will always remind yourself and remind ourselves of spiritual practices, cleaning your space, claiming spiritual responsibility, claiming your power back, upholding limits and boundaries, because all of that is spiritual. And we can start a little bit of a discussion right here, because many people that claim to be spiritual these days, they do not uphold their limits and boundaries. They do not claim their power back. They are always selling their individuality for survivability, relatability, profit, emotionally, not just physically, you know. So many people that they think they are being spiritual, they are just doing something. They are not being spiritual, okay? And we will explore many spiritual topics, things like for future sessions like semen retention, female and male toxicity. Okay, we will explore into what is developing into our society right now, and we will have a lot of fun with you. Remember to comment in the comment section down below so we can know your opinions. Maybe you can bring some ideas to the podcast. And let's pass it over to Mystaria. Hi, Mystaria. How are you doing today?
Hi. Thank you so much. I think this is a great idea for us to be having a podcast of this nature, because I think we can develop about a lot of things that goes on in our conversations, in our daily things that we talk about, that we don't usually make a whole video about. You know, we have a nice conversation here about those topics as well, and our natures in general, how we go about the world and how we go internally about the world, externally, going externally out, and about having a spiritual uh, position, having a good internal uh, relationship with yourself, and so you can have good relationships with others as well. So, yeah. I wish you are enjoying your day, and thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We are going to be doing these podcasts weekly, maybe?
Yes, weekly.
And yeah.
All right. So let's introduce today's energies. Today the sun is in Gemini and the moon is in Leo, and today is a Sunday, so we are paying even more attention to our actions, to the things that we already pay attention to, and we are giving special emphasis to our personal space, upholding and seeing ourselves in our own fixed way. But the sun is in Gemini, so we are paying attention, we are acting and expressing ourselves in two and in more mutable, adaptable, flexible ways to think, communicate, and analyze. So you might reach a conclusion, but then depending on your interactions with the external world, that might be dissolved. You might start to think something else about the same conclusion you achieved, and that conclusion was the right conclusion for this certain topic you might be discussing. So it's very easy for your mind to be swayed by the external mind. But vice versa as well. The external minds are very susceptible to be swayed by your own mind. Just don't sell your individuality away. Don't sell your individuality. Don't throw it away to the waves. Just you can be more relatable. Just you can look smarter. Just you can look like you know what's going on. And because that's not worth it, your individuality, especially today because the moon is in Leo, alright? So we are feeling the need to be seen and to see ourselves as true individuals. We are feeling the need to feel valued and to receive attention for being ourselves, because many Leos, they receive a lot of attention because they're rich, because they have good grades, because they play some good sports, because of their family, because of what they have physically. But that's Leos, especially Leo's sons, they don't want to receive attention for that. That's more like Taurus and Virgos. Leos wants to receive attention for themselves, for their perspectives, the stories they tell.
How they express themselves.
Yeah, how they move while telling a joke, or, things like that. So that's what we need to receive. And that's what you're gonna attract. People that want to also receive attention. And if you don't have your own solar plexus, aka confidence, charisma, a high vision about yourself, you will not be able to give attention freely, because you will feel the need to just receive attention because you yourself have not fulfilled that space by yourself, because you're paying attention to everything but yourself in these past days. Okay? And we gonna start today to open up the discussion with something that I came up with this topic. I personally believe that, and I know because I've experienced it externally, not just internally, that Gemini season is the demon/troll season. And what do I mean by that? It's like if you have your own YouTube page, like me and Mystaria have, or you go live stream on Twitch, or you live stream while you're making a painting, or you live stream while making music, or while programming your next game or something, or you just expose yourself into the social media. In Gemini season, it's very common for somebody to appear in your pages telling, hey, you ain't shit, what you doing ain't shit. But let me tell you right now, they will say that about anything. Imagine you make a live stream cooking, and they be like, oh, your food ain't shit. Then you make a live stream washing your car. Then be like, oh, your car ain't shit, or the way you wash your car ain't shit. Then you go and make a live stream playing FIFA or playing some basketball game, and they be like, oh, you ain't shit, playing games is for kids. But keep in mind that person or those trolls, they are always in your live stream, so they are actually paying attention to you. And by default, it means they are not doing their own live stream. They are not producing their own content, because if there were, they wouldn't have the time or energy to be on your pages talking shit about you. So just keep in mind, it's natural. And why I think that's happened? That happened just because it's mutable air. Okay, so it deals about thinking, communication, social networks, showing yourself to others via words or messages. But Libra and Aquarius, the other air signs, they have Saturn energy. Saturn is exalted in Libra, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So there is always limits, boundaries, and Libra is ruled by Venus, which gives sophistication, being seen in a good, wanting to be seen in a good way, communicating in a sophisticated way. I want to make sense. Gemini, you just release thoughts, ideas, feelings. So Gemini is also, when you are in social media, it's the mirroring season.
It is. It's random, because they don't...
Or it looks random.
Exactly, because they don't care about the car, talking about the...
True.
Your car looks like shit, your cake looks like shit.
And I don't know how many arguments you tell them that your car is good. They don't care, because they are not talking about the car. They're just talking shit in general.
They're just projecting, and that's the mirroring aspect of Gemini, and even how Gemini is represented. It's really about them talking to their environment like they talk to themselves.
Yeah. And I've known some Geminis in my life that did, or it happened to me, not in this Gemini season, but it happened to me a while ago. I was live on IG, and there was a person that I know that is a Gemini, and they were just like joking, like playing games, because they might think everything is so lightly. They might think everything is a game, but it's not. When you are communicating, especially some spiritual shit or things about reality, how to change stability, we being serious. You know, we making at least I am making a business. I'm constructing a brand for myself, and I have no time. I have no energy to be playing with a childish person on my live stream because they just want some attention, because they see everybody being spiritual and they can't be as free mentally, so they start to criticize the ones that are free and that can imagine and that they create connections because of their creativity. So many Geminis, they are hurting without knowing, because they also run away from emotions and feelings. And many times Geminis, you guys have a lot of access to creativity, but you are more like Virgos than Sagittarius and Pisces on that mutable square. You think too much, you block yourself. But Virgos block more physically, they don't physically do it. As a Gemini, you might start doing it, you might get distracted, you might start to think it's not as cool as you thought it was initially, and then you accumulate all of that, because creativity in general is just a release, an emotional output. And if you block yourself from any form of creativity, that means you are not outputting, you're not expressing any internal accumulation. And then Geminis, because you air signs, you don't have the ability, or you have but not so strong, the ability to contain. We, because I have that Aquarius Sun and Aquarius Stellium, we have the ability to express, we have the ability to dry things up. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna express all of that accumulation of blockages, seeing yourself in a dumb way, seeing yourself as not individual, and then you go to somebody that is being an individual, they being spiritual, they being unique, and you're gonna tell them they ain't shit, because you see yourself opposing that person and you think you're right. You think you're cool. You think you all powerful and mighty, but you are not.
You're just projecting.
Yeah, you're just hurting inside, and you're finding an opposition, somebody that is individual, somebody that has their own shit going, to balance so your scales, so you don't feel so heavy. Okay, so maybe I went too complicated in the words over here, but basically you want to be like that person, not literally. You want to do what they're doing. You want to have your platform, you want to express yourself, because remember, Gemini is about communication, sharing your ideas, sharing how you analyze things, sharing how you see the world in a realistic way, right? But because you block yourself, you don't do it, so then you lash out to a person that does it, because that's the best way for your energy to flow from inside of you to outside of you. And that's actually your spirit being smart, because those more spiritual persons, they will quote unquote purge your spirit, because they, by default, just by you being a hater in their live stream, you are purging yourself, because that spiritual person, just by having their own platform, being on their own live stream, we are already more individual, we support more weights on that area. So you're trolling, you're hating, but it's taking that energy from you, so it's helping you as well, if you are a troll, if you are a hater.
So you don't have, if for example you don't have, just by you like being a hater or going around other people's live streams or things like that and commenting like all that negative shit you accumulated inside, that means that you are not expressing it in other ways, right? So that's why you are also feeling frustrated, because you are not expressing it and making your own videos, making your own live streams, making your own creativity.
And many people, they don't start their pages because they think others don't gonna watch it. They think they don't
and
have,
that's how you accumulate, and then you, instead of expressing something that you like, that you want to see in the world, that you like to see in the world, you express something that you don't like to see in the world, what you don't want, and go too much into those areas that are just are not helping into you accumulating some form of creativity for yourself and
Yeah,
being able
some
to
good juice.
apply that juice into your own life instead
Yeah.
of giving it out for others, to others, just by going into hating like into other live streams and things like that is you going out of your space because you cannot contain your own creativity.
True.
So that's kind of the reality of the haters and
Yeah.
people that
Because those internal accumulations, they will come out.
yeah in
And
any way.
anyway.
And that's the power of each and every one of us to be able to maintain the current of where we push that energy in and out.
Yeah. So if you are a content creator, just keep in mind those trolls, they really don't hate you. They're just releasing, you know, and you can use that energy. You can laugh at it. You can teach them. They will not accept it, but if they resonate with your message, they will come back slowly but surely, like still trolling but less trolling. Then they start to be more relatable because it's Gemini season. Remember that they are just looking for a place to relate. They're looking for a place to associate their thoughts and ideas. They are looking for a place to receive ideas as well, because air is the element of thinking and communication, and it's the external side of our external nature. So you receive, or you receive from the external world, but you express, or you process it really quick, and you express it or think about it immediately. Earth signs, they are the internal side of our external nature. So they also receive from the outside, but then they take it more into their emotions. They take it more into their reality. They take more into themselves, not just in the mind. So Geminis, they are looking to relate. They are looking to just communicate, not taking things for real, not building on or whatever they're doing. They just want to express and feel lighter. So keep that in mind. They are not against you. You know, they're just in some type of disturbance. You know.
And Gemini is not Sagittarius, right?
True.
Sagittarius is all about accumulating that experience or sharing that wisdom and knowledge. Gemini is the complementary, or like not really giving a fuck about the meaning or the purpose.
Just communicating.
Just talking about it.
Yeah.
And something that I remembered when you were talking about, the haters coming in and out of your live streams or whatever you are doing, it's also an indicator that you are on your own path, because you will, when you are doing something new, you are doing something yourself. It's something that nobody did. It's something that not everybody will understand, and there will be resistance in your path, and that's just an indicator that you are doing your thing, and
that you are expanding.
Yeah.
And that's a viewer, right?
Yeah,
that's a viewer. That's somebody in the comments.
Energy,
yeah, that's
somebody,
energy.
Having some form of current going towards you, and you already feel that, so you can manage that energy when it comes to you.
True.
In your own way,
So to finish that first topic, Gemini season equals to demon or troll season on the social media, because everybody washed up under the current, everybody that is just being mutable and flexible on their own way to think and communicate. They don't have their own thing, they are not fixed, and they are not creating their own thing, they are not cardinal, they are mutable. So they have no starting point, and they have no accumulation of things that make sense. They have no accumulation of real examples in the external world, because air is the external element. So everybody washed up under the current lose their mental stability, limits, and boundaries. That's why they feel so free to talk shit right now. Why so many people popping up right now? Because last year I paid attention to that exactly as well on my live streams, on other people live streams that I watch and enjoy. I've seen in Gemini season the appearing of more trolls, or if it can be not more in numbers, but if it appears just one or two trolls, they just talk a lot and they say a lot of shit. And then it goes into Cancer season. If they attached their emotions to you, to your persona, to your light, to what your channel is about, they will be there. But then Leo season comes in and they start to pay attention to themselves, and they be like, I wasn't being shit, and then they just disappear and wait for the next Gemini season to come up, But yeah, Gemini season equals demon troll season because everybody washed up under the current lose their mental stability, limits, boundaries, cuteness, sophistication, and they don't want to be seen as real anymore. They just want to be seen. You know?
Yeah, real shit. And Gemini is also a lot about the South Node energy, right?
Yes, South Node being comfortable.
Yeah, being comfortable. So there will also be a lot of trolls trying to, keep you in a state of like, hey, you changed, or in that energy of like, uh, whatever you're doing is not meaningful or whatever, and it actually is, and it might not appear in the moment, it might not be something that is currently makes sense, but it's something that you yourself carry the meaning. So in Gemini season is the ultimate test for you to be able to feel comfortable in your own path.
And you yourself being more Gemini about your own business, about your own self. You just express it, you communicate it, you open up, you don't care about what others think, you don't care so much if it's real or not. You're just doing it. It just exists. It's here and you are talking about it.
Yeah.
You know? So we have more topics. You want to go ahead and kick up a topic that you came up with?
Yeah, I was thinking about talking about investing, or like not just financially wise, not just market wise, but also energy wise, because that's where all the money or all the currency comes from, is from the current that we all start, and then involve ourselves as spirits together with each other with our own currents. So that's how we start to create currency. We start to create ways to put our energy into certain areas by relating with each other and things like that. So there is a lot of topics about investments popping out, but also savings. And savings is something that is already like being propagated for some time, like saving water, saving resources, saving money. Money is the most like obvious.
Saving others.
Yeah, saving others.
Saving the community.
Being saved.
Yeah, being saved by God, more specifically.
Yeah, so saving in itself is already like keeping in a box, right? Keeping in a structure, keeping
in the fridge.
Yeah, in a fridge.
It doesn't transform. Exactly. It doesn't evolve.
Exactly. For it to you put it in a state like a frozen bank account, for example. You freeze it, or you freeze something in the fridge, and it stays there for much longer than if it was in the sun, in the energy and in the flow. Things would transform way faster, right? So that's the energy, and that's the purpose of investment, is for you to keep things flowing, keep things moving. And just the purpose of currency in itself is it being a current, it being a move, a flow of events, of things that you are pushing out and putting in, right? So investment in itself is all about you placing your priorities where you want to place your currency direction in. So where you direct your current currency in. So your currency is your individual power, and that can be related to then money, to the resources that you have, to the things that you can share with the world and with yourself. And as you invest, you are placing yourself into a more refined position, because you are investing all that energy into the world, and you are letting energy flow from the world into you as you prioritize what you invest in. So that's the currency that goes on, as you see on the screen. That's how the currency flows, that's how things flow. And when people start to save, when people start to
not invest,
meaning freezing a certain position that will what I see happening a lot especially is people thinking that they are saving for some purpose that they don't themselves know why they are
Yeah.
saving.
They're just saving.
Yeah, they are just saving.
It's more out of fear
Yeah.
that something bad could happen, so
Yeah.
let's save some money.
Exactly. Or even many times people saving for to get a car or to get something that many times the purpose in itself or the intention, because that also involves a lot of what is your intention behind saving, because you can be saving for something that is you know, an investment afterwards, or you are saving for the purpose of I have to go to work, or I have to more specifically for the job, or you are saving all that money to go back to the job that you were getting that money from. So that's something that still keeps you in the same place basically, and we don't want that. We don't want to stay in the same place, and spirits don't like to stay in the same place and
For a long time.
for a long time, exactly, because then fixed energy, you can stay fixed on your whatever you are doing. That's also a very important energy, and saving involves you freezing your accounts, your whatever you are doing for a purpose, and make sure that your purpose is for your own creativity, for your own projects, for your own business. Make sure if you are in a job working for someone that you are focusing what is next, what am I doing, why am I here, why am I in this job, why am I in this work. So so you can start going for your goals, for your purpose, for getting to know better yourself and what you enjoy doing, as well as what you find value in, so you can also attract people, places and things that will benefit you, and that in itself is always an investment. You are always investing in keeping the right people, places and things around you. You are investing in getting a better PC or a better equipment. That is an investment. You are getting a better car. You know that this is the car that I will be able to travel in and get inspired as I travel through the world, as I am able to, invest into all the things that you are personally and individually inspired by, and know that you will expand as you let that energy flow. That is the currency of events. That's the current of how we create.
Yes, but like more specifically, in more realistic terms, it's like many people from older age, many people from our age, we are in our 20s right now, and many people like from older age, I kind of understand they are very focused on saving, because back in the day that was a real propaganda.
Yeah.
Like to save through banks, or to save under your bed, on a little save box in your house, just save your money, and then that also resulted on kind of the quote unquote poor people or the medium class people hating on the rich people, and they say it's lucky they have good families and arguments like that. But those quote unquote poor and medium class people, they never invested their money. either via markets or via their own individuality, right? They didn't start their own business, they didn't start their own branding,
Yeah.
you know, that they didn't start making clothes or something like that. They were working on those factories, on those companies, on those offices, you know. And what Daria said, basically is like they could take that money from the job and invest in doing music, in selling bags that they make or something, you know. And they never did it. They were very focused on saving because they looked at those investments like a loss, because it is, you go buy something, you pay $20, you pay $100, you are losing money in that time when you buy that new investment. But you people lacked that mentality that it's more present right now. It's like, yes, I'm buying this PC, I'm buying this microphone, I'm buying these paints for the paintings, I'm losing money right now, but then if I sell my painting, if I sell my music, if I make a YouTube channel, if I make a platform right now, I can make way more money than the money that I spent now. So that's the physical part of investment. And then I'm talking about back in the day, like my parents and people of the age group of my parents. And back in the day, it was harder to create your own thing because we didn't have the internet, we didn't have some platforms, but it still happened, okay? The opportunities were still there. And why do I know that? Because there is some rich people out there. There's people that created television shows, television networks, newspapers, magazines, radio shows. They just created their own company, they created their own business. And many people from the group age of my parents, they created their own business, but then they maintained it as an average business. They didn't invest it in,
continuing that growth.
So there was an imbalance in investing and saving. They were always focused on saving. They could have invested 2,000 euros into their project, into their business, but they kept it in the bank, and now they ain't richer because of that, you know?
Yeah. And it's all about that balance when it comes to investing and saving.
It's about that balance, about having a purpose, an objective
that
is individual, because then many people save money or they spend the money that they got in being fashionable. Nothing wrong with that. The only thing wrong is just for that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because if you are fashionable to have your own IG page and your business is very powerful over there, then being fashionable, you are investing in being in the trends is good for you.
Yeah.
But if you're just in the trends and you just spend the day in the house and you go to your normal job, then it's not an investment. Then, you know, then it's a loss.
Yeah, indeed.
So currently right now, there is a lot of opportunities for people from any age to invest. Like today, it's way more important to invest. There is even more ads on YouTube and other social medias about investing in the stock market, okay? But that's kind of a trap because there is better markets out there. You don't need to get stuck on the stock market.
Yeah.
But just this is not financial advisement. Make your investments in the best areas for you, because you don't need to create something. You can like buy paintings and sell paintings and create and open a space for somebody to go expose their paintings. You don't need to be the painter. You can be the guy that has the gallery. You can be the guy that sells paints. You can be the guy that makes canvas. You can be the guy that has a web page that exposes and shares paintings. You don't need, you know, I'm a painter myself. I'm a content creator, so I take that very into my perspective. So the examples that I say come a lot from my personal perspective. But the final point is, right now, investing is way better than saving. You can have some money in the bag in case anything happen, but don't make it at not even 50% of your total resources, money-wise. Make sure your money is flowing, is going from one place to another. Make sure it allows you to experience and open your horizons and connect with people that have experienced and opened their own horizons. So then they can give you good ideas. You share a problem.
Yeah.
In your mind, it's a problem. In their mind, it's just, oh, I did that. You just
Yeah.
need to do this. It's really simple to do. Oh, yeah. And then you make profit out of that because
Yes.
you do it in your own way. And if you never invested, or if you didn't invest so much or so many times, you don't reach that position.
Indeed.
And just a personal advice to finish this topic: if you can't lose $300, if you can't lose $5, you're not ready to make 1 million, 10,000, you know, because investing is not just making profit. You know, sometimes you buy a product that it didn't suit your needs and you can't take the money back. You bought a microphone and now you're procrastinating on making music, something like that, you know, and then you find out that what you really want to do is work on something else, you know, that really works for you. And investing, it's not just receiving profit, like I was saying. Investing is just spending time and energy in that thing, even if it's not profitable. You learn something, you gain
Yeah, and that's
power in
profit
yourself,
in
and that's
itself.
profit spiritually speaking, you know. So investing on a spiritual sense is always profitable, but physically sometimes you can lose some money, you can lose some associations, you can lose some opportunities, or you can go into the wrong opportunities. But spiritually, it's always, I'm telling you, it's always profitable.
Yeah.
Investing, spending time and resources in yourself in different areas, with doing what you do, even if people don't like it, things like that, you know.
Yeah, real shit. Because that leads you then to the right connections. You know what the wrong connections are. You
Internally
expand your
and externally.
horizons. And you know more of just you know more. Just by default, you know what people to discern from, what environments you have been in and you don't want to be in, and things like that.
And that takes us to the next topic, which is gaming as a career. And I say gaming, but because I have me and Miss Aria, we have our YouTube channel and Twitch channel with gaming content as well. Go check that out in the links in the description down below. But when I say gaming, I say anything that can be broadcasted via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, IG, you know, because right now that is a career, you know. There is already people making a lot of money, but in my personal surroundings, I see older and younger people, they still go to those quote unquote normal jobs. It's not wrong. There is nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact they are not investing the money that they receive from their jobs into their own creativity, business, or whatever. They just keep going back to the job, and buying food, paying the bills.
And as I said on the last topic about the buying your car to go back to that job, you know.
Yeah, to travel you spend a lot of money on a car just to go from home to your work. I see.
That, and those type of investments is what you are talking about, I believe.
Yes. And right now, you can basically broadcast anything, right? And if you spend enough time, if you just be yourself, just quote unquote, because it's not just, you need to go through some internal and external fights, especially right now, Gemini season, troll season, right? But if you do it for long enough or smart enough, because also right now it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. It's like smart 60%, working smart 60%, working hard 40%, and then you make the perfect mix, you know. So right now you just you stream or you create content when you are in your best space about things that you value, about things that you think others value, and you do it, you know, and you get that experience, and you invest in yourself, and you improve. And gaming as a career is gaming or exposing yourself, creating content. That's it. Creating content as a career is very valuable right now, and it's a good opportunity to start or to start doing it more right now, because we have Sun in Gemini, Uranus in Taurus, Venus in Taurus, and Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. So let me explain for those of you who are not into astrology how creating content as a career is valuable and it's backed and supported by the energies that we are in right now. Sun in Gemini, trining Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. Sun, what we pay attention to, what everybody's paying attention to, is mutable, flexible, fresh. You are looking for different new things. People are looking for different new things to talk about, to create a connection, to create a network. And Saturn in Aquarius by itself means being stable, having limits, having boundaries, creating a business, creating a teamwork, creating a network that is expandable, that can grow, not expandable as cheap and you can throw it away, but expandable as it can expand, okay? In or accordingly supported by your unique way to think, communicate, express yourself, and maintain yourself strong to your uniqueness and individuality. So we have a gift to be more relatable to about our unique businesses, basically. A gift to communicate and be received about how we achieve reality and stability in a unique and original way. So you associating yourself, associating your unique reality and your unique limits and boundaries is a gift right now. Then Uranus in Taurus and Venus in Taurus, it means Uranus in Taurus, Uranus means change, opposition, newness. Taurus means being fixed on your own way to feel comfortable, to feel safe, to receive stability, to receive support, to receive love, and then fixate on that. So that goes into taking care of crops, that leads into agriculture, taking care of crops as survivability. Then it's expanded in taking crops because now you have a company in the stock market. So Uranus in Taurus means changing in the markets, changing in the products, changing what we value, changing how deep we value certain things, changing how we feel secure, what we enjoy, what we feel good about. And Venus in Taurus means that people are relating to Uranus. People are loving and enjoying those changes. Yes, they might feel weird because Uranus naturally rules Aquarius, so it squares Taurus, but just the fact we are changing and we can see it in reality because Taurus is Earth, Taurus is reality, Earth is accumulation, we can see the accumulations of changes, we can feel we are a part of it right now, of those changes in reality. Okay, that feels good, that feels exciting. It might feel weird, it might feel unstable, it might be unstable, but there is always that spark for change. We can always feel it's possible if you are fixed on your own way to be stable, practical, and realistic, and people are loving those changes. Everybody is relating with or about those changes. Everybody wants to feel good and to benefit from the changes in the real world, in the market, in the economy structure, in the financial structure, in the gaming structure, in changing in business, changing in work. People are loving and relating to that. So if you participate in that Uranus in Taurus, by communicating Sun in Gemini, your uniqueness, Saturn in Aquarius, you can attract people, things, ideas, and thoughts with that Venus in Taurus that makes you being seen and felt more relatable, sweet, and juicy, and that will lead you into benefiting from this quick, heavy changes in reality right now. So create your own business, invest in your own business, communicate about yourself, communicate about your business, communicate about changes, give your own personal, unique opinion about the changes, about your business, about people that do the same business as you, whatever. Just creating content as a career is super valuable right now.
Yeah, real shit. And I think that just by you broadcasting, just by you showing on a platform your videos, live streams, what you do, how you do it, communicate it to people, that also is great for you to keep that routine and pattern going for yourself. You are communicating with others, you are just showing that to the world and to the people that you know, to people that you don't know.
That's how we do business.
Exactly. And it's so expansive. It's limitless possibilities, all possibilities, and anything that you create and broadcast, you yourself, just by creating that routine and pattern of broadcasting and at the same time doing what you like, doing what you want, is a perfect mix for you to gain money, gain connections, gain some form of skills of how to making videos, broadcasting technology, how you can connect your game capture or microphone to this place and to that. How can you connect to these people to make a cover for you, or you want to make a cover for somebody, a layout and all that, and that's very, very wanted right now.
True.
Because you
like
yourself,
digital artists,
Yeah,
quote unquote.
because it's
Yeah,
so
that's very
fun.
demanded right now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that.
Exactly, and just by you learning that, going through that process, and doing what you like, it's just juicy sweet.
Yeah.
And right now it's very good to go about everything with a smoother, lighter tone, but knowing that it's all about your business,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this for myself, I'm
And
investing in
I
myself.
forgot to mention that Saturn in retrograde brings more stability,
Yeah.
brings like more time. So Saturn or the retrograde in
Little burp.
sorry, I'll just releasing some air. The retrograde energy in general benefits a lot fixed signs, because retrograde, quote unquote, means going back, going into the past, and fixed energy means accumulation. So those things synergize very well together. They go very well together, accumulating and going back to the past, re-experience, redo something again. You are accumulate different experiences about the same thing. And Saturn, it's about reality, stability, so it's kind of quote unquote slow. So it also goes well with the retrograde energy. So Saturn in retrograde, it's giving us more time to develop and bring more stability and build with ourselves and others our own unique sense of uniqueness, individuality, changes, and then communicate that to create a more solid network. So Sun in Gemini can be quote unquote dangerous because you can communicate very quickly with the wrong individuals, you can attract the wrong ideas and thoughts. But Saturn in retrograde, it's like a gift, it's an anchor. Somebody's giving you a gift,
You just
especially with the retro.
And that's
I want to exalt the retro
retrograde
element, giving that extra security, extra slowing down, extra sureness, or cleaning, being reassured of yourself, cleaning your sense of power on yourself, because you are rewinding, you are revisiting all the great things you have built by yourself until right now.
Real shit.
That's on the positive side.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say something else, which was that I think that the best thing, not the best thing, but to be completely aligned with these energies. A great funny example, how Sun in Gemini, Uranus in Taurus, Venus in Taurus, and Saturn retro in Aquarius, a physical thing that you can do that is super aligned with this is streaming you gardening, streaming you planting some crops or taking care of the crops, or making some videos about you building infrastructure to support. Actually, I will have very recently that on my Patreon page, so go check that out. Me and Mystaria, we have crops ourselves. We are also recording. And I'm doing that. I was not even thinking about that, but I'm doing that myself. So I'm aligned. Now, you see, guys, we see real shit. And actually, some of those videos are from last year. I wasn't clear how I wanted to use my Patreon page, but now I feel way more. You see how I'm reflecting these alignments? Real shit. And I was reflecting, and I found an extra sense of security on that platform. Not on that platform, but doing things in that way. And that platform supports how I want to do things. And I will have videos about crops, about plants, about the fields, how to take care of certain things. And you can support me and Mystery over there. So go check that out. It's on our link tree in the description down below.
Check out Esoteric Cloud Surfer Patreon. He has great videos there on etymology as well.
Yeah, true. Only there. If you go to my Patreon, there is videos over there of the etymology of each sign, what the word Aquarius means, what the word Scorpio means. They are all in the Patreon. They are not on my YouTube, they are not on my IG, they are not on Mysterious IG, they are not on Mysterious YouTube. They are only there on the Patreon, so you can support us and gain access to hidden occult knowledge.
Indeed.
Real shit.
Indeed.
Real
Always
shit.
updated. And the greenhouse, that we are building.
It's already built.
Yes.
We're just improving it right now.
Yes.
It already works.
Mm-hmm.
It already works. We have beautiful strawberries over there.
Indeed. Always giving
Avocado
them
tree.
huge strawberries.
Some grão de bico.
It's
Chickpea?
Chickpea? Chickpea?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Pichik?
Pichik?
Pichika.
No, it's a chickpea.
A chickpea. Not one, a lot. Some tea.
Mm-hmm. Some
Chamomile?
Chamomile.
Yeah, that sounds really calm. Chamomile.
A lot of juicy tomatoes coming in.
Some bell peppers.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Cucumbers.
We have a lot of bell peppers and also a few cucumbers growing there. They're already giving out the little cucumbers there.
So yeah, wait for those videos. They'll be on my Patreon soon.
Yeah, this will be very fun.
Yeah. And let's roll over to our last topic of today. Missario, kick it.
Internal inspiration versus external inspiration. So I wanted to talk a bit about this topic because I know that it's also a, I think that many people might, go. Okay. So I was thinking about how internal inspiration is very lacking in this world. Like in the majority of people, you see them going for or waiting for somebody to bring them inspiration, or searching for some entertainment that will bring them a spark, or something the outside world that will give them hope. And those are your internal power, is your imagination, hope, and
Creativity?
No, but in just by you going in into your own motivation, your own inspiration, is the best way for you to actually get things done for yourself. That's my point here, is that we cannot be waiting for others to bring some form of motivation, or like motivate us, or be demanding someone to inspire you, or to the world to bring some form of salvation to you, because then you will be always waiting to be saved, or to be told what to do. That's usually what happens when people are waiting for external inspiration, is being told what to do or how to do, and that will never lead you to your own individual path. That's something that will not lead you far, because you yourself don't have the internal spark. And that's very important, as for any spirit living with your own spark, and with your own ability to spark yourself up to do things, to create a painting, to express your opinion about something, express and have your own opinion about something, have your own way to express something, your own position on things, and be able to inspire yourself and the world. That's by default what happens when you yourself know how to inspire yourself. You are not waiting for somebody to bring you up. You are not waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. basically, you know. So internal inspiration is a must, is very important for you to get yourself in the position that you want to be in. And do you want to develop on this topic?
No, I think you developed very well.
Yeah, I think I don't have to say
I think
anything else.
The only thing I want to say is give like real examples. It's like people that they create content about a trend,
Yeah.
or they go and they make huge posts about a celebrity event or about something that happened in quote unquote their world in television or on social media. And they basically don't do that for they should be doing those posts about themselves, about their business.
Yeah.
They should be inspiring themselves, and by default they will show the world that being yourself is the right way.
Yeah.
But because most people now these days, they are inspired by the external world, by a trend, by a law, by a fear, by a sense of community, and that kind of sacrifices the sense of individuality, or people don't feel comfortable being themselves. And I saw a comment, I think it was on Twitter. I'm not quoting. I'm just remembering right now. It's like our sense of individuality is at war, or it's harmed these days because of the sense of community, while growing your business online or growing your business on the social media or gaming, because people and then they just said that, and I agree, our sense of individuality is at war or is harmed while growing online, while growing in online or bigger associations, because nowadays everybody expects you to inspire them, and if you are acting in a way that for them is weird, they're gonna feel offended. They're gonna criticize you.
Yeah.
They're gonna talk weird about
Yeah.
you, because they are not recognizing you as an individual.
Yeah.
They are seeing you as quote unquote different or weird, because they were waiting for you to inspire them, but you are inspiring yourself. You are being yourself, and only when they start to inspire themselves, they'll be able to recognize you as being inspiring yourself. So we are, me and Mr. We are being inspired by ourselves, and our pages, our channels reflect that, and we already attract more self-aware people that are not so trend biased, you know. So that's the point. You can't wait for external inspiration, external validation, because you will never find yourself, and you will never do things truly for yourself, by yourself.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Then you can be used, then you are naive, you are open
Yeah.
to everything.
Yeah.
You can fight for any war, you can fight for any mission.
Exactly. And that's a choice that you are making, like the choice that we are making to, you know, not you, that you are, not you,
The
but
listener, but in general, yeah.
but in general,
People that are seeking for external inspiration.
yeah, you are making that choice for others to make a choice for you.
True, yeah, exactly. You are giving your power to them. Make the choice for me.
Yeah. And you cannot deny it, even when those type of people like are preaching like we were fooled, or like protests, let's do this, let's defund the police, or
things like that.
because we were fooled, we thought they would defend us.
Yeah, they are waiting for external inspiration.
Yeah, and they
or they were waiting and they received
exactly.
an external inspiration.
Because they made the choice to
Yeah.
believe in that, even if it was subconscious. It was a choice, and they go out crying out those like the consequences that they have already experienced, or you know, just the consequence of disillusion makes people then go out of their way sometimes to, and then you see people killing each other.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking about that. That's how they can make those like riots and people hurting each
because,
other.
that's how
wars.
Just how
Yeah,
the shadow
that goes
government,
to the whole
yeah,
concept of wars.
because they are they know how people will react to things, like they know how the mice will react to this or to this type of shock.
True.
And that's all like how they study the mind.
Yeah.
That's to the level
Because
of
it will be impossible to be an existing war if people were not being externally inspired, because the officials of the military and of the government from, for example, Russia and Ukraine, they don't go to war. The people go to war. The soldiers go to war. Not even the generals and those big shots on the military infrastructure. They don't go to war. It's only the people. So why people go to war? Because they receive inspiration. Fight for your country.
Yeah.
Protect your loved ones. Be the hero.
and they justify war
Yeah.
by that.
And it's not even their country. The country doesn't belong to them. They maybe they own their house and their car that they don't own much. So they are not fighting for their country. It's not any country you live in. It's not your country. Okay,
Yeah.
keep that in mind. So people fighting for their country, they receive that idea from the people that the country is really theirs. So they receive that spell, fight for my country. But imagine, I'm the one in power. I'm saying that to you, a soldier, fight for my country.
That's a spell.
And the soldier repeats, I'm fighting for my country. But he's saying that like he was me, because the country is mine and he's fighting for my country. Do you know what I'm meaning? And it's not mine as in I have a paper saying it's mine. It's mine because it really is. I have power, influence, money, resources, people to make my agenda, my group, because it's not just me, right? I'm role playing right now. And me and my quote unquote friends, my associates, we make certain changes. We throw things at the people and we know or we predict people gonna react that way. And if people do, good for us. If people don't react that way, we're gonna do something else. But they gonna fight for my country. They gonna produce the products that I sell and that I benefit from.
Yeah.
And I just want to clarify the word shadow government, because shadow, because you can't. People are lost in those things of secret societies, because you can't point to one secret society and say they rule the world or they rule that country. You can't. That's why they are secret societies, and many secret societies are not even secret. They're just there to pollute the information pool. But the shadow government is the most correct term we can use, because they are governing your shadows, the fears and insecurities that you don't want to deal with. They are governing those. So they make you react because they don't. Recently, they have been obliging people, but a spirit can never really make another spirit do what that other spirit wants to do. What they do is, the shadow government, they make people in fear. If you don't take the shoddy shot, you lose your job. That's a fear. If you don't wear a mask, you can't go to parties. That's a fear. That people don't want to lose that sense of connection and security.
Yeah.
So they weren't all blind.
Because really whoever is in that party is not even the people that tell you can't wear this.
True.
It's the
the people
average people that are
received
wanting
external inspiration.
External inspiration, indeed.
That was messing up with their shadows. That's why it's the shadow government, because they give inspiration, they make you feeling a certain way to react
By
in a way
fear.
that they predict you're going fear or excitement or aggression or even sense of revolution, a fake sense of change. You were talking about that. Go protest.
Yeah.
That's a fake feeling of change.
Indeed. A fake feeling of expressing your frustration.
We have the power. Democracy is based on fake feeling of power. People think they have a choice. People think they are choosing the future of their country, but they are not.
Yeah.
So And we are being extremely realistic here, because the people that are elected by the people, they do not carry the will of the people. They carry their own will or their party will, not the imagine if I go vote, the guy that is elected, he does not carry my will, but that's too individualistic, right? Many people voted on that person, but that person cannot and is not carrying everybody will. He's carrying a party will. He represents a party. He represents another group that the people that voted for him don't know. So it's all messed up.
Yeah, and then people justify having that by believing that they will carry their best interests.
So that's another aspect of the shadow government.
Choosing the lesser of two evils.
Basically, they manipulate, or no, they don't manipulate, because that's too realistic of a term, because they don't manipulate. They provoke. It's like somebody is calling you names, saying you ain't shit. They're trying to provoke a reaction. That's what they do. They try to provoke reactions, and many people react in that way, but it's always the people's choice. If you are internally inspired, you don't receive the external inspiration from the shadow government or from your friends, from your romantic partner, because many people die, many people lose their jobs, many people lose their reputation, many people lose their families because they received an external inspiration that overthrown their internal inspiration, and they went to places where they physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, they went to places that they had no business being in, and they manifested a catastrophic situation.
Exactly.
Because they weren't internally inspired. They let an external inspiration take their place.
Yeah. Doing something strange for a piece of change.
True.
And then, waiting for external validation. That's when it comes to all of that. Doing some weird shit for somebody else's approval.
So in this topic of internal inspiration versus external inspiration, we have people being washed up under the current, as in trends. Then they create content about what's trending. They don't create content about themselves or what they really enjoy. We have emotional manipulation. We have like how people go to war, why even racism is derived from external inspiration, because we as quote-unquote humans, as spirits in bodies, we don't naturally exercise racism. It was something created and given or implemented propaganda. It was a target of propaganda back in the day, So if people were internally inspired over there at that time, that racism wasn't possible. And right now, things like that are not working anymore, because the overall spirits in bodies right now are smarter and wiser. Back in the day, even in my personal experience, I see older people and they are very childish mentally, and people of my age and even younger people than me, they are more straight on the mind, So that explains why back in the day things like racism and things like people following weird laws, or people hating on each other, things about gangs, people fighting because they have different football clubs or different beliefs.
People killing on religion.
People killing on religion, that worked better back in the day because people, or the spirits in bodies, were less experienced, less wise.
Because then they would shame like witches. They would shame people into also shaming each other. So that's
bullying, peer pressure. That's all derived from external inspiration.
Exactly, and we can see that everybody, and that's how you can also allegorize that to the sun and being worshipping the sun, waiting for that
waiting for the
blaze,
light, waiting
to come near the
heat.
sun.
True.
Following that light, being like a moth.
True. That's also derived from external inspiration. And basically every religion is sun worshipping. So we can say that every religion is derived from external inspiration.
and people
And that's wrong.
yeah, that's wrong. People giving up their right of choice,
Or feeling strong in themselves, feeling
inner strong,
yeah.
and being able to express that and withhold their position.
Yeah.
They sold out that for a piece of bread, for a piece of validation with the group, and becoming like a mess. That's why you see the masses.
Mm-hmm.
You see the mess of bread.
It's messy.
Yeah, it's messy. Here in Portugal, we call dough massa.
Yeah, the massas,
the
massa,
masses.
yeah.
And it's all Latin, and that's all.
Latin and Greek.
Yeah, Latins and Greeks, and that's all external inspiration. What we want really as individuals is to go through this, building up our own mind, creating our own spaceship, unique and individual, not something that you know, seeing the trends and see everybody doing, externally speaking, because everybody's trying to have the same mind, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
We don't want the same mind. I don't want to have the same mind as you. I want to have my own mind, and that's what we are here to do. And many get lost, so you have a lot of lost spirits here that are still not even in their own path to take personal accountability for shit.
Real shit.
And we have to. That's something that each and every spirit will have to come to grips or become unaware.
I agree with that. And well, guys and gals, this will be the end of our first episode of Spirit to All. Thank you very much for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. Remember to check our links in the description down below. Support the channel, support myself, support Mystaria, and we love you all. A huge shout out to our soul group and to everybody out there changing the world right now. Till the next time, Satiric Cloud Surfer, surfing out.
Daria, surfing out. I wish you have enjoyed this podcast, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Bye.
Bye.